St. Charles Parish officials celebrated some substantial upgrades and redundancy improvements to the AMA pump station. This $2.75 million project bolsters the pump station's ability to effectively move water by substantially increasing the station's pumping capacity. But that's not all.
We're going to do some other renovations along with this, along the railroad tracks, improving the canals, increasing canal capacity back to this area. So we'll give this pump station more water. We're also going to do some renovation work on the existing two pumps, which will bring them back up a little bit also. So in the long term, this is going to be such a great advantage to the AMA area.
AMA has a unique drainage infrastructure. You have a lot of areas of AMA that are older with very limited servitudes and whatnot. And so making sure that we can get water to the railroad tracks and over to this pump station is incredibly important. That's why we incorporated it into our drainage master plan, along with some other planned improvements that we have for the canals that feed this station.
In the long term, this is going to be such a great advantage to the AMA area.
The work at AMA took roughly 15 months to complete. Parish crews and contractors worked diligently to execute every phase of the multitude of upgrades to the facility. One important part of the renovations was replacing a deteriorating outfall pipe which ran under Union Pacific's railroad tracks. This particular task required considerable cooperation between the parish and the railroad.
We also had to work with the railroad because we're going underneath the railroad tracks with an outfall pipe. So there was a lot of involvement with the railroad and their flagmen and making sure that we didn't impede their traffic flow through this area.
Other modifications included adding new bar screens to ensure that things keep flowing.
The screens that can get the garbage out of the canal will make it also less likely that they'll get jammed up. These other pumps have been here for quite a while. We're going to do some refurbishment of those now that we have these other ones to pick up some slack. So that'll allow us to move and make these ones better as well.
This is a very important project for the residents of AMA because it's going to give them some redundancy in this pump station. It's also going to see a tremendous capacity improvement in the total amount of water that we can pump out of this AMA watershed.
And all this equipment needs ample power to operate. Officials turned to Entergy to provide the necessary juice to keep the station running.
We had Entergy run a whole new power system from their main feed back to this. You'll see if you go along Bernard Avenue, you'll see their new power poles and all along back here. So that made it more resilient. We don't have as much chance of losing power.
The goal of the renovations was to make this integral part of the master drainage plan as strong and reliable as it can possibly be for today and the days to come.
Over the last 3.5 years, we've been making tremendous improvements in our drainage infrastructure, our road infrastructure, our sewer, our water infrastructure. So we have a lot of work going on right now, but it is worth it. These are the type of investments that we need to be making into the future for our residents.